Iowa State is a 37-point underdog in their road matchup with Baylor this weekend. Right now, we're joined with college football analyst Troy West from allplayswin.com to get his free picks on this game. Now, Troy, the Bears are averaging 64 points per game. Their worst offensive outing, they finished with 56 points. I mean, if college football had a fantasy league, people would be drooling all over this team. Just 2 weeks ago, Baylor covered a 46-point spread. I mean, if anyone can cover a big spread, it's going to be the Bears. But Troy, here's my question, my one red flag here. Baylor's schedule after this game, it's super intense. They've got Kansas State on the road, Oklahoma State, TCU, both on the road. Will Baylor push their offense in this game, or could they be looking ahead to the weeks coming up?
You bring up really good points, and I'm one of those guys, I've said it from day one, I typically do not bet 30-point spreads. If I had to bet it, I would put a very strong lean on the over just because of the amount of points that they've been putting up. And they've been putting it up against the Big 12. The Big 12 defensively, one of the weaker conferences in all of America. But Baylor's putting up points, and they're putting them up at a premium against teams like West Virginia and other halfway decent teams in this conference. So no reason to believe that they're going to slow down against Iowa State. We'll see if they get to that 37 mark, if they can cover that or not. I would put a lean on Baylor to think that they will, just because history of this year will tell you that they will. But you make a lot of good points. They could be looking ahead. They know that they're going to have to preserve some energy to get through the gauntlet of the schedule. But Iowa State, a very poor opponent, an opponent that's probably going to give up a lot of points. But I would put a lean on the over and a lean on Baylor, but my money typically doesn't go on these Big 12 teams.
Now, that's interesting. You bring up the over here, Troy, because it's sitting at 81.5. Does that mean that you think Iowa State's going to be able to put up a lot of points in this game as well?
Iowa State's got some playmakers on offense, and I do think they'll at least get into the 20s, maybe push the 30 mark. And if they do so, then we're counting on Baylor to get up to their average at 64. I would think at some point there's got to be a defensive scheme out there that will contain Baylor. Not sure if Iowa State has it, but I would put a lean on the over because I don't think the Cyclones do.
College football analyst Troy West from allplayswin.com. Thanks again for joining us and for the great insight.
Thanks, guys.